Satnam, good morning. This is a video for the morning yoga at McCallum Place. And if you are joining us from outside of McCallum Place, welcome. And if we've worked together here before, I'm so glad that you are continuing your yoga practice, and I'm sending so much love. So today we're going to be working on focusing our energy, doing a nice semi-active yoga flow that's all about reeling in our energy and really finding balance and focus. So remember to take your shoes off on the mat, and let's go ahead and start settling in, finding a comfortable spot on your mat and bringing hands into Gyan Mudra, thumb and index finger touching, back of the wrist to the knees. Eyes are closed. And we're starting to establish our connection. Connecting with our hearts, our spirit, and taking a moment to really notice how you are doing right now. How are you feeling? And not pushing away or trying to change or fix anything as humans we tend to do, but rather observing your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts from like an outsider's view. Almost like as if you're watching a movie or a parade. Simply watching, observing. And see if you can bring a sense of acceptance and gentleness to any feelings, any thoughts that pop up for you. Whether you're feeling anxious, bored, perhaps you're feeling at peace, excited. See if you can allow everything that you are in this moment to simply be. Let's bring hands to the heart, either in prayer mudra or with one hand over the heart and another hand over that one. And with eyes closed, begin focusing at your third eye. That's the sixth chakra, and it's located right here in the middle of the forehead, just above the brow line. When you do this, you're pulling an optic nerve that begins to activate the pituitary gland. And with your eye focus, your drishti, begin elongating up through the top of the head and consciously roll shoulders away from the ears. Let's continue that movement, just gathering any tension, any tightness you might be feeling, and rolling it down the spine. And let's bring our pranayama, our breath, to this movement. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhale, rolling it down the spine. And using that inhale to gather any tension, any tightness you might be holding. Okay, enveloping it in a warm light, and then on the exhale, releasing it down the spine, imagining it melting away down into the center of the earth. All right. Just a couple more times. Really pushing that tension down the spine, letting it flow out with that exhale, and then coming to stillness, and we'll open our practice chanting Om. Inhale. Om. Together, let's raise arms up overhead, imagining that space between your arms filling with a beautiful light. And as you exhale, release your hands and draw that light around you, almost like a protective sphere to guide you through your practice today. We'll bring your hands back to the knees and start Sufi grinds. Inhaling forward, exhaling, rounding back, and continuing that movement. This is a nice, gentle way to start the practice. Starts to activate the lower chakras. Starts to raise the energy up the spine. Okay, that life energy. And again, as your eyes are closed, we're going to start practicing that focus by focusing up at the third eye. So your outer eyes are closed, and you're rolling your gaze up right to this spot above the brow, right in the middle of the forehead. And you're starting to open your mind's eye, your intuition. And remember, with these Sufi grinds, we're continuing to elongate up through the spine and moving that heart forward on the inhale, back on the exhale. And we're not going down to the ground though. Okay, we want to continue to elongate up. That way we're keeping this flow of breath clear. We're not like cutting off the flow of breath. Okay, one more time. Let's inhale to center. And then exhale, release, and continue that same movement in the opposite direction. So it's springtime here while I'm making this video, and things are coming alive. We're jumping into project season, starting to wrap up the school year for those of you that are students. So it requires a lot of focus, and there's a lot of distraction. It's important off the mat be able to really bring your energy back in when you need to. Okay, one more time. Let's inhale to center. And we're gonna exhale. Go ahead and release your legs and shake them out. And shake out the arms. And then we're gonna come on into rock pose. And we're starting our Kriya. So hands are on top of your legs. Again, elongating up through the spine. Shoulders pulled away from the ears. And we're going to sit here in rock pose with our eyes closed, really focused up here at that third eye. Inhaling through the nose all the way down to this navel center. And then exhale, release. So as you're inhaling deep down, your new breath fills your entire lungs and torso all the way up to your shoulders. Continue to focus at your third eye, taking a few long, deep breaths. One more long deep breath. And on the exhale, we're going to come into tabletop with our hands under our shoulders, knees under hips. I'm going to move farther back. And we're preparing for down dog. So we're splaying our fingers so we can really grip the mat with each fingertip. And that middle finger is pointing towards the top of the mat. And then we're tucking our toes and then pushing the hips up to the ceiling. Now your heels are reaching for the ground, and it's okay if they don't touch. You just want to make sure that stretch is there, and your head is hanging loose. You can do some neck rolls here. Make sure that you can have plenty of room between your arms to move your head. And coming back into that long, deep breathing. And again, focusing at that third eye. All right, and let's walk our hands back towards our feet. I'm going to move forward, so I'm still in the frame. And we're here in our full forward bend. Again, torso hanging loose. We're just letting gravity do most of the work here. And we're going to clasp opposite elbows, okay? And just getting a nice little shoulder opener as we inhale from left to right. One more time to each side. Coming to stillness in the center. Go ahead and release opposite elbows. And come rolling up very slowly, very gently. Rolling shoulder blades away from the ears. Coming into mountain pose. Taking just a few long, deep breaths here. And we're going to start slowly shifting over to our left foot, bringing our right foot to rest just on top of, just very gently on top of that right ankle. Bringing hands into prayer mudra, finding our balance here, finding our focus here in tree pose with our roots in the ground, and finding a spot in front of you to really focus your gaze. So eyes are open. You're finding a still point as you begin to move up the trunk. Okay, elongating up through the top of the head, and then resting your heel just above the knee. And when you have found your balance here, go ahead and spread out your branches. Inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and release. Very nice. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So shifting over to the right side. And again, finding our balance here with both of our roots in the ground. Okay, we always want to create a strong foundation before we move up, right? With our temple here, we're finding a strong foundation before we move higher. So finding your balance here, finding your still point, bringing hands into prayer mudra. And once you have found your balance, go ahead and move on up. Very nice. Remember to elongate up through the top of the head, resting that left foot just above the right knee. And when you're ready, you can spread out your branches. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Release. Okay. And now we're going to sit down almost like you're sitting in a chair. And bringing hands into prayer mudra. So your tailbone is reaching for the ground. And it's like you're sitting back in a stool. You're elongating up through the top of the head. You want to imagine a line going from the top of the head down your spine, all the way down to the ground. Inhaling your arms up. And then exhale, let's bring them down to the ground. We're going to step back into our low lunge. So this left knee is over the right or left ankle, and we're going to go ahead and drop that back right leg, flattening out that back right foot. Inhaling the arms up overhead, elongating up through the top of the head, and lifting your gaze so you're looking at this space between the palms. Taking just a few long, deep breaths here. Inhale. And on the exhale, releasing your arms, bringing them back down to the mat on either side of that front left foot. And then we're going to walk our hands back so that we're sitting back on that right heel. Flexing that front left foot so the toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Okay, you're welcome to stay here. Or if you'd like to come down, bringing your forehead down towards the knee. And you're just getting a nice stretch here. Back of the leg. And then walking your hands back up towards that left foot. And we're going to bring the left foot to meet the right. So coming and then straightening out both of the back legs, coming into cobra, rolling shoulder blades away from the ears. Okay, we're elongating up through the top of the head. Inhaling, looking over that left shoulder. Exhale, looking over the right. And continue that movement. Very nice. One more time to each side, coming to stillness in the center. Let's come up in the tabletop, preparing once more for down dog. So you're splaying the fingers, fingertips pointing towards the top of your mat, tucking the toes, pushing hips up. And again, you can always pedal with your heels here if you'd like to get a deeper stretch behind the legs. And then once more, walking the hands back towards the feet. So we're coming into that full forward bend again. Inhale, come rolling up. And just roll those shoulder blades away from the ears. Check the time. Oh, good. We're doing great on time. And coming back into that balance. This time we're going to be working on our eagle pose. So again, finding a still point in front of you. We're going to cross right leg over the left and left arm over the right. And we're going to point both hands up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then wrapping that left hand so that it's touching the right palm. And lifting the elbows up so your elbows are coming straight from the heart. I'm going to turn this way so maybe you can see a little better what I'm doing. And again, you're elongating up through the spine. Okay, finding your focus. And when you're ready, come sitting down on your perch, just like an eagle. I looked at my screen and I lost my balance. Can all use this focus. All right, let's come standing up and inhale, release, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. But this time, I'm just going to focus on my still point. I'm not gonna look at my screen. We're going to cross left foot over the right. Okay, finding that foundation. And then crossing right arm over left. Bringing both hands up so they're facing up towards the ceiling. And then wrapping our arms around each other, lifting the elbows up so they're coming out from the heart. Turning this way and finding our focus. Finding our foundation, finding our focus before we come sitting on our perch. Just like an eagle. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and release. Go ahead and shake out the arms. Very nice. All right. And then again, bringing hands into prayer mudra, sitting back on our stool, tailbone tucked towards the earth. Inhaling the arms up in a chair. Inhale. And on the exhale, coming down towards the ground and then stepping back with that right foot, or excuse me, with the left. So now your right knee is over your right ankle and you're dropping that left leg towards the mat, coming into that low lunge, inhaling arms up overhead. So there's some space between the palms and you're looking at that space between the palms here. Inhale, and on the exhale, bringing hands back down to the mat and walking your hands back into these half splits. Again, that right foot is flexed, so the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, shoulders pulled away from the ears. You're welcome to stay here as you're sitting back on your left heel. Or if you'd like to, bringing your forehead down towards your right knee. Just getting a nice stretch behind that right leg. And let's go ahead and walk our hands back up to that right leg. And come sitting back in rock pose once more. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. If you're yogaing with us at McCallum Place, whoever the direct care is that is running the morning yoga, go ahead and have patients lay down for about 1 minute. And that's for our morning Shavasana. Just a time to rest. So when you lay down, you want your hands to be by your sides, with the palms facing up towards the ceiling, and just letting your feet fall open. If you're yogaing with us outside of McCallum Place, you're welcome to stay here in rock pose, again with palms open, shoulders pulled away from the ears, heart open, eyes closed, focusing here at the third eye, for as long as you are comfortable, and then coming down for Shavasana. talon place yogis. Coming out of Shavasana, go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes, circling ankles and wrists, and taking a long deep breath and coming into any stretch that feels good for you before making your way back into either seated, an easy pose, or rock pose. Here in easy pose, we're going to bring hands into prayer mudra and taking a moment to just thank ourselves for coming to practice, continuing this journey of healing, really honoring the courage and the strength that it takes to be on this path. And we'll close with one big Sat Nam inhale. Sat Nam. Peace to all, light to all, and love to all of you. Sat Nam. And it was nice practicing with you. I hope you have a great day.